Welcome to Getting the Scoop with Yvette. This is Yvette, bringing you the scoop on your favorite celebrities, your least favorite celebrities, and those you may not even know. Please hit that like button and subscribe if you like the video. Now, let's get the scoop. Welcome to the Inside Scoop. So by now, many of you all know that Nene is not returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta for season 13. When it got out that some of the cast had already started filming, people started wondering about Nene, and that's when we all found out that her place on the show had not yet been solidified and that she was still in contract negotiations. Nene was going back and forth with her contract, and obviously the two sides could not reach a common ground. So around September 17th or so, Nene made the announcement on Instagram that she wasn't returning. In the post, she said that it was very hard and exhausting. She said, and I quote, "Thank you to all of you guys that have been showing me a lot of love and support as of late. I feel you. I hear you. I have been on an extremely long, exhausting, tiring, emotional negotiation. There has been a lot of emotion flying on both sides. It has been hard, and I have made the very hard and difficult decision to not be a part of Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13, close quote." So that's what Nene put on Instagram, and that's when the world found out that she definitely was not coming back to Real Housewives for season 13. A lot of things happened after that, but just very recently, Nene was on Tamron Hall to talk about what happened that led up to her leaving ROA. She broke down on Tamron Hall, and it was obvious that she was very hurt and disturbed by the whole situation. According to her, Bravo was only offering her 6 episodes when the average episodes are anywhere from 18 to 23. But she also said something that was very interesting and stood out to me. She said that they were not giving her a pay cut. She said that her pay would remain the same, but it was the number of episodes that had been reduced. So basically, she was being offered the same pay and less work. But I guess she wanted the same amount of exposure as the rest of the cast, as rightly she should. She is certainly not wrong for that. During the interview, Tamron referred to Nene as the secret sauce that made Real Housewives of Atlanta successful. And Tamron asked Nene why Bravo would be willing to let her go. Nene responded by saying that for the last several years, each year when they were in contract negotiations, they had been shortening her number of appearances on the show. She says each year they were reducing the number of times that she was going to be appearing on the show. So essentially, she said that she is not being treated fairly. She's being discriminated against, and that systemic racism is real. But I have watched Nene over the years, as I am sure many of you all have. And one thing I have observed about her is that Nene refuses to see the error of her ways. When Nene thought that she had arrived, she left Real Housewives of Atlanta to pursue other endeavors. Remember, she was on The New Normal, she was on Glee, she was on Broadway. And when those things died down, she had to return back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. And she was not received with open arms, as she probably thought she should have been. And remember, prior to her leaving, she had already rubbed lots of people on the show and even many of the viewers the wrong way. Nene made comments like, "I'm rich, bitch. I cash Trump checks. I have arrived." I personally remember that "I have arrived" comment because when she said it, I remember thinking to myself that in this life, we never arrive. We are always journeying. But Nene said, "I have arrived, honey." Many of her comments turned people off, and that "I'm rich bitch" comment turned a lot of people off. But I guess when you're not used to having money and then you suddenly come into a lot of it, you feel the need to broadcast it, I guess. I believe that Kandi has more money than every single woman on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I have never heard Kandi talk about how rich she was, how she cashes Trump checks. She's never said any of that. You can say whatever you want to say about Kandi, but one thing about her, she is very humble, and she has never bragged about how rich she is. I really do feel bad about what Nene is going through as a Black woman, but my question to you guys is this. Did Nene bring this on herself with her bad attitude? Now, the reason why I asked that question is because Nene has always talked about how she made Roa, that she is the original cast member. Roa is her baby. She's the reason that Roa is successful, etc. And a lot of that may very well be true. And yes, Nene, you were the original personality. And when you first started on Real Housewives, everybody loved you because you were like that girlfriend that every woman needed in her life, or so we thought we did. But when you got too big for your own good, everybody just started getting turned off by you because you walked around with this preeminent, "I'm rich, bitch, I'm better than you, I cash Trump checks" mentality. And it was a huge turnoff to so many people. You had a rapid change, and we just basically didn't like the change. Not only that, Nene just cannot seem to keep any friends. And when her real friends try to tell her the truth, she refuses to listen. And she'll either get up and walk away or she'll leave. Remember when she got mad at Marlo just because Marlo talked to Kenya? And she was so hurt when Cynthia said that she was a toxic friend. But if you look at Nene's track record of friendships, she really is a toxic friend. Nene has been a bully. She's had a negative attitude. She has mistreated every single person on Real Housewives of Atlanta. When we were first introduced to Nene on Real Housewives, we were also introduced to Kim Zolciak at the same time. And I don't know if you all have forgotten, but I remember everything. Nene and Kim first fell out because Nene started talking about Kim behind her back. When she was in the car with Lisa Wu and some of those other ladies, she just was talking so badly about Kim to the point to where Lisa Wu said, "She's supposed to be this girl's friend, and she's talking about her behind her back? What kind of friend is she?" That was the first time that Kim and Nene fell out. It was because of Nene. And then the second time when they fell out, it was when Kim invited Nene to come over with her on her tour or something. And Nene just started insulting her and then calling Kim's assistant a slave. I mean, she just came on there with a huge attitude. And that's when they fell out again. So every time Kim and Nene fell out, it was because of something Nene did. It wasn't because of anything that Kim did. Remember when Nene first met Kandi, she called her ghetto, which I really couldn't understand because Nene, the very first time we all met you, everybody thought you were ghetto and country, but we still loved you. And I thought that was very, very odd because Nene was way more ghetto than Kandi, but she didn't even try to be Candi's friend. She just immediately insulted the girl. And then when Nene was friends with Cynthia, she disrespected Cynthia's marriage, and she said a lot of other disparaging, disrespectful things to Cynthia. She went on national TV and called Phaedra the head doctor, and she knew exactly what she was doing. Nene knew that she was going to embarrass Phaedra by calling her the head doctor. And what she did was call Phaedra in private to apologize. I don't know about you, but I cannot stand those people that go out in public to say so many things about people, and then they want to go in private to call and apologize. I cannot stand people like that, but that's what Nene did to Phaedra. And you saw how she did Marlo, just because Marlo was talking to Kenya. You saw how she did Portia. She said that Portia should be fired. Now, let me stop right there, because I am a strong believer that Portia should have been the one fired from Real Housewives and not Phaedra, because Portia took something that she heard in private and she made it public. It was Portia's voice that we heard, not Phaedra's. It was Portia who was trying to destroy Kandi, her legacy, and everything that Kandi built. That was Portia, not Phaedra. Phaedra may have been working in the background and pulling the strings of the puppet Portia, but Portia made the decision to bring it on national TV. That was Portia that we heard. We didn't hear Phaedra's voice telling all those lies about Kandi. We heard Portia's voice, but I digress. The point is, Nene was supposed to be Portia's friend when she went on national TV to say Portia should have been fired. They were supposed to be friends. Even if Nene really did feel that way, this girl was supposed to be your friend. And that's how you do a friend. We saw how Nene did Claudia Jordan. We saw the breakdown of the friendship of Nene and Kenya. Nene brought that sweet, beautiful spirit person in the name of Tanya on the show. And then she turned around and she turned on Tanya. So Nene has been the contributing factor to all of the breakdowns in her relationships. So now she's claiming discrimination and racism against her from Bravo. But I'm not sure how she can prove racism or discrimination, because Kandi is black, Portia is black, Kenya and Cynthia are black, and I've never heard any of those ladies complaining about Bravo. Now, that's not to say they don't have complaints or have never had complaints against Bravo, but they weren't dumb enough to bring their complaints to the forefront and blast it on social media. The bottom line is that, Nene, they don't like you, and it's because of your own making. How many times has Nene called Andy a racist and then retweeted disparaging things that others have said about him? Is that the way to get them to embrace you, Nene? That only exacerbates the situation. Nene cannot seem to control her emotions. She has displayed very childish and immature behavior, and she goes on social media and says horrible things about people, which only feeds their reasons for not liking her. Nope, they don't like you, Nene. Now tell me, where else in the United States can Nene go to make the kind of money that she has made on Roa? Where else can she go and make that kind of money? She really felt that she could afford to tell them no and turn them down when they were paying her the same amount. And maybe she could. Maybe she can afford to. They were giving her the same salary. Child, I would have taken that deal. But then again, Nene thinks that she deserves more exposure, and Bravo has given her not a Trump check, but a reality check. They're letting her know that she is replaceable. I feel bad for what Nene is going through, but you simply cannot bite the hand that feeds you and then turns around and wants them to reward you. Where they do that at? You cannot bite the hand that feeds you and knowing that you have to go back to these same people because you want them to pay you and give you exposure. That's just not how things work in this world that we live in. I personally cannot help but believe that all of this is a result of Nene's own making. As Funky Dineva always says, that's all I got. Ain't got no mo. So that's all I'm going to say on the matter. Leave your comments below. Even if you don't agree with me, I'd love to hear your side and your perspective of this situation. Have a pleasant and productive rest of the day or night. And until next time, stay safe.